All right, guys, welcome back to part three of the um, GameWired review of GamePro September 1999. Um, so you got pro news. I'm gonna try and speed this review up so I don't have like 16 parts to this video. So you got some action figures there, and let's see, Nintendo 2000. This was an interesting read. With Sega's Dreamcast launch underway, Sony Sony imperiously flashing its PlayStation 2 card. What's up with Nintendo? Here's the scoop on Nintendo's new game system. So if you want, you can go ahead and screen cap this or screenshot this here and take a read. But basically, it's talking about the GameCube. It was codenamed Dolphin, so that's why you see the Dolphin. Um, and So yeah, it was very informative. It felt like it was really, really far away. I mean, honestly, it kind of was. It was about 2 years off, and it released November of 2001. So this is September of 1999. So you're still in a couple of years till that came out. Let's see here, Chocobo Racing. Here's an advert for Ape Escape, which I purchased. And I was really excited for Ape Escape because it was it was a fun 3D space action adventure games with puzzles and whatnot, and it was a blast. Once Mario 64 came out in 3D, people were able to run around in a 3D space. You started seeing games just come out left and right on a rapid basis. Putting, kind of mirroring what Nintendo did with Mario 64 and placing their character for their game in a 3D space. So that was really, really, really neat time for that. And Battle Tanks Global Assault, you had a tank game there. Here's some information on Dino Crisis. Actually, it's a review, so you can see this was the way they scored their reviews. They got a bunch of 4.5, so this was definitely a game. If you liked Resident Evil, if you liked Tomb Raider, you were going to love this game. So their scale went to 5, so that's why you see graphics 4.5, and the guy looks thrilled. Let's see what it says about the graphics. Dino Crisis looks awesome. The characters are well animated, and the various surroundings are atmospheric. The only visual glitches consist of some bulky dinosaur polygons and an occasional clumsy camera angle. Fun factor, which is one of the huge things I would go by when deciding what game I would want to get. Fun factor got a 4.5. Dino Crisis keeps the action at a steady pace with non-linear gameplay, perplexing puzzles, and challenging enemies. Although constant backtracking occasionally stalls the show, there's enough action and suspense to keep you coming back for more. So yeah, they like Dino Crisis apparently. Let's see so to the right here you have another Target ad. Save the planet, maybe the galaxy. Maybe they should mean Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the N64. Look at that, $60, and then you have the Phantom Menace coming out for $44.99. So Star Wars hype all over the place. Still, just a couple of months after that movie released in May of 1999. Let's see here. There's some more on Dino Crisis there. Let's see, what do we got? We got a fighting game here, WCW Mayhem. So that's a never really got into that game, though I did like WCW games. So here's the special feature for the GamePro September 1999 issue. You have Dreamcast. So it says, let's do Soul Calibur. Now, looking at these screenshots, I mean, I was just freaking out. I mean, as a console gamer, you've never seen anything like this, ever, okay? Soul Calibur absolutely looks stunning, and when it was released, it did not disappoint. Just one of the first 10 out of 10 games that just blew everybody's mind. I mean, the graphics, the fluidity of the gameplay, I mean, just absolutely incredible. So that's a classic game you want to get into. Trick Style. Um, it's a racer. It's kind of like a road rash type racer. You can do some tricks as well. Obviously, that's in the name. Graphically, it looked good. Better than anything Nintendo 64, PlayStation was putting out. Just didn't really capture that fun for me. It was a nice game to kind of show off the power of your Dreamcast, but didn't really stick with me. Ready to Rumble was a fun boxing game. Just a blast to play with some friends. And of course, it looked phenomenal. These are all, of course, launch titles. What's it say up here next to launch? The Dreamcast is only days away from its United States premiere, and you may want to lay out some extra cash to own some of these hot launch titles. Here are hands-on previews of the best the Dreamcast will have to offer on 9/9/99. Wow, so the hype it was extremely real, and like I said earlier in my first video of this review was, you know what, I was overhyped for this, so much so I was making like collages from magazines of screenshots of the Dreamcast, of the games for the Dreamcast, and hanging them up in my room, and I was just absolutely in freak out mode for this console. So Sonic Adventure was the Mario 64 for the Dreamcast, essentially. It was its launch title. It was Sonic in a 3D environment, and ultimately, you know, it wasn't your classic Sonic, but it did the job well. It showed off the beautiful power of the Dreamcast at the time, and actually one of the first Dreamcast games that I actually beat. So I love Sonic Adventure. I absolutely loved it. Classic game. NBA 2000, I go way back with NBA 2000. I'm not historically a huge NBA gamer. I suck at them. But why this NBA 2000 was huge for me, actually this ended up being NBA 2K. Basically, where I found my fun in this game was simulating. Sure, you could simulate your franchise years and years in games prior to this, but for some reason, I did it, and I logged all of my progress on paper. Okay, so you know, I would simulate, I would do the drafts, and I would just, you know, make trades, and of course I'm a Philadelphia fan, so my Philadelphia 76ers were you know, up and down, but it was a blast to just simulate, and just if just simulating was that much fun, you know, look at where the rest of the game has gotten the NBA 2K series. It's the only NBA game around worth getting 17 years later. So NBA 2K, that was a blast playing that. A lot of memories. NFL 2K. This Dreamcast launch title absolutely blew my mom's brains away. I remember the first day I was playing my Dreamcast in my bedroom, and I was just in full glory. I was in heaven. Okay, I was, you know, my mom hadn't seen me all day, you know, kind of thing. And I remember she came upstairs into my room to drop off some clothes, of course, and I'll never forget this. Absolutely never forget it. She goes, "Oh my God, they're real." And when she was watching me play NFL 2K, she later said, you know, seconds later, "Is this TV? What are you watching? What's going on?" And I said, no, this is NFL 2K. This is a game. Now, as a gamer, as a teenager, that thrilled me to death, because here's a non-gamer, someone who doesn't play games, giving you a comment wondering whether what you're playing is real or not. As in real, like, are you playing real TV? Like, what is going on here? She's never seen, neither have I, anything that gorgeous on television. And that was just a thrill to me. I'll never forget it. One of the first shock and awe moments in video games for me. And but this game was fantastic. The NFL 2K series really gave the Madden EA Sports' Madden series a run for its money, even beating out Madden plenty of times in the in the gameplay department, graphics department, sales. So until its untimely death in 2K6 or 2006. When the NFL 2K series did not make a 2K6, they ended with 2K5, unfortunately. So that was the end of that. EA pretty much monopolized the football genre, NFL football genre. So let's keep going here. What do we got? So we got Virtua Fighter 3TB, which was Virtua Fighter 3, essentially, from the arcades. Fun game. Power Stone, which ended up being an absolute classic. Power Stone and Power Stone 2. Just a fun battle game, kind of like your Smash Brothers, kind of like that, and but it was just a blast to play. So that was made by Capcom. So if you do have a Dreamcast, get yourself a copy, burn it, whatever you got to do. Play Power Stone with some friends. Hydro Thunder, which was another arcade title, just a fun game to play. And then you see the GTA 2, Grand Theft Auto 2 advert to the right here that also came out for the Dreamcast. And just a few more here. Speed Devils, which I purchased. It was terrible. Just a terrible game. Sega Bass Fishing, another arcade title, fun to play. Mortal Kombat Gold. And then under Mortal Kombat Gold, you have Blue Stinger, which I mentioned earlier. Mortal Kombat Gold was Mortal Kombat 4, essentially, kind of like Mortal Kombat 4.5, if you ask me. It was the best graphically looking Mortal Kombat of its time. Just nothing to write home about. And there's Homer Simpson with a giant Butterfinger in his mouth. And that should do it for episode 3. Let me close this video and ask you to join me in episode 4 for the continued review of this magazine. Thanks, guys.